Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Comic Review. My name is Eric, and today we're going to switch gears up a little bit. We're doing a lot of DC stuff lately with the Final Days of Superman, catching up on that whole entire series, as well as starting up on all the DC Rebirth specials going on. But another book came out this week on the Marvel side of things, so we're going to go ahead, dive right into it. So today we are going to be reviewing Civil War II, #1. This book is coming out roughly around the anniversary of the original Civil War event, over about 10 years ago now. It's also coming out about a month or so after Captain America Civil War, which was the movie adaptation of the original series. The plot is a little different. If you're coming into this, you don't really know what the plot of this is. Basically, a new Inhuman was discovered back in Civil War II #0, and he has the power from all the press and everything that's been going on. It's been revealed that he has the power to predict the future, and so there's half the heroes in the Marvel Universe, led by essentially Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, who believe we should use this power to stop crimes and threats before they happen. And you have the other side, headed up by Iron Man, Tony Stark, who believe that we can't let the punishment come before the crime, against our civil liberties. That's what the main conflict is. Also, if you're not familiar with the story from all the press and everything, one of the major catalysts of this whole conflict is that there was going to be a prominent hero in the Marvel Universe who was going to be killed off at the beginning of the story, seemingly by another Marvel hero. I believe that's how it was supposed to go down, or how it was marketed to go down, and just people's opinions on what to do. Some people are going to believe one way, some people are going to believe the other way, and that various things going on in this series we're going to drive people to possibly switch sides, both readership as well as the characters themselves. So let's go ahead and see what actually happened in this issue. The book opens with Ulysses, who was the Inhuman who gained his powers at the end of, or during, Civil War II #0. He's running through the woods from something, and he's met up with Medusa as well as Beast and some of the other Inhumans. They basically just tell him that they can help him understand his powers and everything. That's kind of where that scene ends. We then jump a couple weeks later to a scene with the all-new, all-different Avengers. Iron Man's team with Sam Wilson, Captain America, so on and so forth. If you're reading that book, you know the cast of this of that team pretty well. They are in the middle of fighting. Basically, a giant celestial has plopped itself down in the middle of, I believe, New York, and with a bunch of its celestial soldiers around it and whatnot, is getting ready to lay waste to the city. There's some banter at this point between the three young kid characters, Nova, Miss Marvel, and Ultimate Spider-Man, who, the writer Brian Michael Bendis has, been writing that character, Ultimate Spider-Man, for 15 plus years now. So he's got a good handle on the interactions with these characters. It'd be kind of interesting to see his take on that book in the future, but we'll see how that plays out after Civil War is over. So a couple pages in, Lady Thor comes into the scene, and she's bringing with her pretty much every other hero of the Marvel Universe. This multi-pronged plan with the Avengers, X-Men are there as well, the various sorcerer characters with Doctor Strange, Magic, and others, as well as the Inhumans, and working together, they're able to actually take down this threat of this Celestial. They win the day, and then everyone ends up going back to Stark Tower to celebrate the victory that they have all created. It is revealed during this party scene, the Inhumans were the ones who found out, or who knew what was going to happen with the Celestial coming to Earth. No one kind of questioned it, as long as, everyone was involved. Everybody just kind of went with it at this point, to stop the Celestial. But it's revealed the identity of Ulysses, the Inhuman who can see the future. At this point, you have people like Carol Danvers, who's the leader of the Ultimates. She's trying to recruit him, which it was a little weird. At this point, people, the way people talk about their various teams and allegiances and this, that, and the other, it almost felt like, we were dealing more with like major league football teams or baseball teams. When I was talking about the teams that are on during this whole book. Again, when it's revealed that Ulysses is the one, and what his powers are, you got Carol trying to recruit him. We have a long, very Bendis style speech from Tony. Basically, him putting out his opinion of being against using these powers to see the future. After the party scene and everything, the story shifts to about 3 weeks more into the future. Ulysses has a vision of the future. We're not sure what it is. He kind of just freaks out and everything, but he tells Medusa that they need to contact the Ultimates. We then get to a scene sometime later with Tony, where he's trying to find his Iron Man armor. Apparently, him and his AI Friday are playing a little hide and seek with it, testing out the new stealth mode on it. This exchange gets interrupted by Mary Jane Watson, who is more famous for being in the Spider-Man books. She's actually been working with Tony at Stark Industries over in the main Iron Man book. She, unfortunately, lets Tony know of basically what is marketed as the first casualty of the Civil War, and unfortunately for Tony, it is found out that the first casualty is War Machine. He is unfortunately the first casualty of Civil War II. You find out that the threat that Ulysses saw, they tried to get the Ultimates to prevent, had something to do with Thanos, and the Ultimates went to go pretty much stop him before he was able to do whatever dastardly nefarious thing he was going to do. Tony quickly arrives at the Triskelion with a fury that, if you've seen Captain America Civil War, it's kind of that fury that Tony gets toward the end of that movie during the main climax battle of that scene. Don't want to spoil that during this review. It has nothing to do with this. But seeing Tony here and that movie being fresh in my mind as far as that portrayal of Tony Stark, it just brought that back for me during that scene. Tony gets to the Triskelion. He immediately starts questioning everyone there as to what happened. He's looking over War Machine's armor just to see what could have possibly happened. Pretty much everyone from the Ultimates is banged up, bruised up. The fight definitively did not go well at all for them. You find out that War Machine just happened to be at the Triskelion when the Ultimates were getting ready to go after Thanos, and they ambushed him. He volunteered to go during the fight. Thanos pretty much just, with one punch, punched Rhodey right in the chest, and from the pictures and everything, basically ripped a hole in him. There was no possible way to save him. Carol tells Tony that Thanos was still apprehended. He was locked in the Triskelion somewhere. But Tony then just basically says that he told them exactly that this was going to happen. He knew that something like this was going to happen. And I don't know which viewers, let me know what side of the whole thing you're on. But in this case, I'm kind of going with Tony here from this standpoint. We already saw in this book right here with the Celestials attacking Earth, we already saw a positive use of Ulysses' power, because we were able to inform everyone, all the main heroes in the Marvel Universe, and everyone was able to work together to stop the Celestials from destroying the Earth. I think this time with this fight, with what happened with War Machine and ambushing Thanos, I think Carol kind of wanted to keep everything under wraps at this point, now that the secret's out about what was revealed to be the source of information. I think that if she would have possibly used and contacted Tony or any of the other teams, contacted Captain America and the Unity Squad, even contacting the X-Men or anything, most likely the War Machine would not have died. So you're going as far as like in the story and everything, I'm kind of siding with Iron Man on this one, just because of the fact that Captain Marvel just did not consult with any of the other super teams out there. Even though they stopped Thanos, it still gave Iron Man enough reason to not trust Ulysses at all. We've already now lost somebody, a big player in the Marvel Universe, because of this, and you know, it's just sad. Tony rockets off. Not clear as to where he's going, but She-Hulk, during this time, she's a member of the Ultimates, or she's with the Ultimates at this point. She tells Carol to keep fighting for the future. She-Hulk basically says to her, it's our future, not his. Not sure fully if she's referring at this point to Tony and his arrogant attitude and whatnot toward the situation, or if she's actually talking about Ulysses. I'm not 100% sure on that. You know, with Ulysses predicting the futures, Tony feeling like he knows that we should just leave the future alone. I'm not sure exactly who she's talking about. She doesn't say who she's talking about. I think you're kind of just left assuming that she's referring to Tony when she says fight for the future. But she then flatlines, so you're left at the end of this issue not knowing whether or not She-Hulk is going to survive or not. So that's where we're kind of left at this point at the end of the storyline. We've got Iron Man furious, seeing red, leaving Star Tower. We do know that in the main Iron Man book that there's going to be some fallout from the next issue. So next issue of Civil War 2. So what my theory probably is, and I'm sure a lot of people have already guessed this, is that Tony's on his way to confront the Inhumans and confront Medusa, possibly is going to be attacking them during the events of Civil War 2. So when the main Iron Man book then picks up with that storyline, that storyline might trail off, and the Inhumans may be basically going to war with Tony Stark over whatever it is he's doing in that book. So that's my speculation with that. Most likely we're not going to find out what's going on with She-Hulk until the next issue as well. I want to say that there's possibly multiple deaths, just from different things I've seen online. I'm not sure if there's going to be multiple deaths, but I will say one of the things I took from this is I found it interesting that they originally kind of made it seem like one hero was going to die and then another hero was going to be directly responsible for the killing. My thought was that it was going to be that hero was going to be essentially murdering that other person. But I do, if this is the death they're talking about, I do kind of find it interesting that Carol's not the one who technically killed War Machine, but she is the one who is responsible for his death by not enlisting the help of any of the Marvel heroes, by even using Ulysses at all. It's just interesting the way that the story kind of took a turn, for me at least, from reading all the promotional materials and everything. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this series. Next week, for anybody who's following tie-ins and whatnot, there is, I don't believe, an issue of Civil War 2 coming out next week. I know there's 2 issues this month. I think the next one comes out on the 15th. I'm not sure about that. But I do know that what we're going to be getting, we have 2 miniseries starting next week. One is the Amazing Spider-Man Civil War tie-in, or Civil War 2 Amazing Spider-Man. The first issue of that drops on June 8th, as well as the first issue of, I believe it's Gods of War, the series with Hercules. Those are going to be dropping on June 8th, as well as New Avengers number 12 is supposed to be a Civil War tie-in. So look for both of those, or all 3 of those, on June 8th. So tell me what you guys think of this issue. Right now, is with the death of War Machine and Carol's, Captain Marvel's, hand in the whole thing. Which side of the power went out for 2 seconds. So let me know what you guys think of this issue. Are you on Team Iron Man, or are you on Team Captain Marvel? We've seen so far who the first essential death is of Civil War 2. We kind of see who's responsible for it at this point. So just let me know in the comments which side you're on, what you think of the story so far. Do you agree with Iron Man? Do you agree with Captain Marvel? In honor of War Machine's passing, let me know of any classic stories with War Machine that you like, or that you would recommend for anybody, any of the other viewers or myself to check out. So leave that in the comments, and please go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be coming out with some new reviews on a weekly basis. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.